In the late 1960s, a tiny paradise in the heart of the Indian Ocean was subjected to a total geopolitical erasure. An entire population was rounded up, loaded onto ships, and told they could never return home, all to make way for a place that technically does not exist on most civilian maps. This is a sovereign void, a geographic anomaly that serves as the unsinkable aircraft carrier for the world's most powerful military. Welcome back to Tales by Flex. If you're fascinated by the hidden stories that shape our maps, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an investigation. Today, we uncover why this specific coordinate was deemed so valuable that an entire culture had to be vanished to secure it. We are exploring the hidden history of the Chagosian people and the island that vanished in plain sight. To understand Diego Garcia, you must first understand a geographic concept known to military planners as the footprint. This coral atoll is the largest in the Chagos Archipelago, sitting almost exactly halfway between the coastlines of Africa, Australia, and Southeast Asia. Its geography is its most lethal weapon. It offers a massive, deep-water lagoon capable of hiding entire carrier strike groups and a landmass long enough to host runways for B-52 strategic bombers. This is not just an island. It is a geographic fortress shielded by thousands of miles of open water. For centuries, this atoll was a remote coconut plantation, but its strategic value changed during the Cold War. The Indian Ocean was becoming a vital corridor for global oil trade, and the United States needed a fixed platform from which it could project power across the entire Eastern Hemisphere. Because it is so remote, the normal rules of international oversight and human rights observation simply do not apply here in the same way they do in populated territories. It is a place where geography provides the ultimate cover for secrecy. Most islands in the Indian Ocean are surrounded by shallow reefs, but Diego Garcia's lagoon is uniquely deep, allowing massive naval vessels to enter and hide within its perimeter. This physical reality created a temptation that the world's superpowers could not ignore. To secure this coordinate, however, they had to address a human problem. There were people living there, the Chagosians, and their presence was incompatible with the absolute secrecy required for a nuclear-capable military outpost. The geography of the atoll demanded a total human vacuum. The first layer of our investigation begins with the contract laborer lie. In 1965, the United Kingdom split the Chagos Islands from Mauritius to create a new colony, the British Indian Ocean Territory. To avoid United Nations rules about decolonization, British officials falsely claimed the 2,000 people living on the islands were merely temporary workers from Mauritius and the Seychelles. In reality, the Chagosians, or Ilois, had lived there for over 5 generations, building a vibrant, self-sustaining culture based on fishing and coconut farming. They had their own language, their own churches, and their own graveyards. The second layer is the secret agreement. In exchange for the right to build a base on Diego Garcia, the United States gave the United Kingdom a $14 million discount on Polaris nuclear missiles. But the deal came with a chilling, non-negotiable condition. The island had to be sanitized. This was the literal word used in internal memos. It meant the total removal of every human being to ensure absolute security. The British government began by cutting off the island's food supply, hoping the population would leave voluntarily. When that didn't work, they turned to psychological warfare. In 1971, the sanitization
entered its most brutal phase. British officials began by gassing the islanders' pet dogs, over 1,000 of them, using the exhaust fumes from military vehicles.
This was done in front of the families, as a demonstration of what was to come. The message was clear: your life on this island is over. Those who remained were eventually rounded up and forced onto ships with only one suitcase each.
They were told they were going on a short trip, but as the ships pulled away, they watched their homes being boarded up and their livestock being shot.
The third layer is the exile. The Chagosians were dumped on the docks of Mauritius and the Seychelles, with no money, no housing, and no rights.
They were treated as second-class citizens in their new homes, living in extreme poverty, while Diego Garcia was transformed into a high-tech fortress.
While the U.S. military built air-conditioned barracks and bowling alleys for their soldiers, the people who actually owned the land were dying of sadness, a term the Chagosians used to describe the profound clinical depression that claimed the lives of the elderly who could not cope with the loss of their ancestors' soil.
For decades, the existence of these peoples was a state secret. The UK government continued to tell the United Nations that the islands were uninhabited.
It wasn't until a group of Chagosian activists, led by Olivier Bancoult, began a series of legal challenges in the British courts that the truth started to leak out. They uncovered the footprint memos and the secret deals, proving that their removal was a coordinated violation of international law. Every time the courts ruled in favor of the islanders, the government used royal prerogative to bypass the rulings and keep the island forbidden.
The fourth layer is the black site rumors. Because Diego Garcia is a sovereign void with no civilian oversight, it has long been suspected of hosting a secret CIA interrogation center.
In 2008, the British government was forced to admit that 2 US rendition flights had refueled on the island in 2002.
However, investigators have never been allowed to inspect the base. This is the danger of geography-first secrecy. When an island is removed from the map, it becomes a place where the rule of law simply dissolves. It is the ultimate geographic shield for actions that would be illegal on the mainland.
The final layer is the 2024 sovereignty deal. After decades of international pressure and a ruling from the International Court of Justice that the British occupation was illegal, a historic agreement was reached.
The UK agreed to return sovereignty of the Chagos Archipelago to Mauritius. However, the deal contains a massive geographic exception. The base at Diego Garcia will remain under US and UK control for at least another 99 years.
While other islands may be resettled, the most important coordinate in the Indian Ocean remains a forbidden zone. The map has been changed, but the footprint remains untouched.
This 99-year lease proves that in the world of geopolitics, strategic geography is more permanent than human rights. The deal is a compromise that allows the UK to save face and the US to keep its aircraft carrier, but for the Chagosians, it is a bitter victory.
They may be able to visit their ancestors' graves on the outer islands, but their home atoll, the center of their universe, is still a military ghost.
It is a place that belongs to the world's security, but no longer to its own people. This is the high price of being the most important point on a map.
Diego Garcia is more than just a base. It is a case study in how global superpowers use geographic scars to project power. It represents the ultimate tension between national security and human rights. In an era where every inch of the planet is monitored by satellites, this atoll remains one of the few places where the map is intentionally blurred
for the sake of the status quo.
It is a reminder that the world we see on our screens is often a curated version of reality, where certain locations are deleted to facilitate the movement of armies and the stability of global trade.
This atoll proves that sovereignty is often a luxury afforded only to those whose land isn't strategically vital. For the Chagosian people, their tragedy is a direct result of their geography.
If their ancestors had settled on a less strategic island, they might still be home today. But because they occupied the footprint, they were deemed a geopolitical inconvenience that had to be vanished. This is the isolation ethic in its purest form, using physical boundaries to create ethical exceptions. When an island is remote enough, the world can be convinced that it was always empty.
As we move further into the 21st century, the story of Diego Garcia forces us to ask how many other sovereign voids exist on our maps. From secret listening stations in the Australian outback to remote detention centers in the Pacific, geography is still being used to bypass accountability.
The vanished islanders of Chagos are a testament to the fact that maps are not just descriptions of the world, they are tools of power. To change a map is to change a reality, and to erase a people from a map is to attempt to erase them from history itself. So we are left with a difficult ethical question. Is global security worth the forced displacement of an entire culture? Can we justify the existence of forbidden zones, like Diego Garcia, in a world that claims to be governed by international law? Or is the strategic value of this island simply too high to ever be returned to its people? Let me know in the comments. Should the US and UK pay reparations and allow a full right of return to Diego Garcia? Or does the base need to stay for global stability? I am reading every response. If this deep dive into the hidden maps of the Indian Ocean fascinated you, you will not want to miss our next investigation. We are heading to another geographic scar, this time in Europe, where the geography of isolation was used to hide a much darker, much older secret. We are going to the island where the soil itself is reportedly 50% human ash. Next week, Poveglia Island's dark secret that Italy wants hidden. Make sure to subscribe to Tales by Flex so you never miss a story behind the maps. Geography is the lens through which we view our past, and some corners are darker than others. I will see you in the next investigation as we continue to uncover the secrets that define our world. Goodbye for now.